Hello students, in our previous session we have revised chapter number 1, that is food, where does it comes from. So in today's session we are going to revise chapter number 2, that is components of food. So do you remember what were the different topics that we have studied in this chapter? We have studied the different components that are present in our food. Then we have also studied the test for the detection of starch, proteins and fats in our food item. We have studied about the balanced diet and the deficiency diseases. So let's revise this chapter. In our chapter number 1, we have studied that we consume different varieties of food, isn't it? And each dish or each food item is made from the different ingredients. What are ingredients? Materials that are required to prepare a food item or a dish is known as an ingredient. So, these ingredients also contain some components that are needed by our body. And these components are called as nutrients. So what are nutrients? The ingredients which contains some of the components which our body needs. These components are known as nutrients. What major nutrients do our food contains? Our food consists of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, along with roughage and water. But how do we know that our food contains all these nutrients? We said that our food consists of different nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, etc. But how we will know that our food contains all these nutrients? So, to know this, the different tests are being performed for the detection of nutrients. So, do you remember what all the tests we have studied? We have studied the test for the detection of starch, proteins and fats. The test for the presence of carbohydrates, proteins and fats are simpler to do as compared to the test for nutrients, as the detection test for carbohydrates, proteins and fats are simpler as compared to the other nutrients. Now, what were the different chemicals that we require to perform these tests? The different chemicals that are needed to perform the test are iodine, copper sulfate and caustic soda. So, how to prepare the different chemicals? A dilute solution of iodine can be prepared by adding few drops of tincture iodine to test tube half filled with water. In the half filled test tube with the water, we have to add the few drops of tincture iodine to make the iodine solution. Then, copper sulfate solution can be prepared by dissolving 2 grams of copper sulfate in 100 ml of water. So, in 100 ml of water, we have to dissolve 2 grams of copper sulfate to make copper sulfate solution. And 10 gram of caustic soda is dissolved in 100 ml of water to prepare the caustic soda solution. So let us first see the test for carbohydrates. How the test for carbohydrates is performed. For this, we have to take the small quantity of the food item or any raw ingredient. To the food item or any raw ingredient, we have to add 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution. So what will happen after we will add the iodine solution? The color of the food item will change. If you see a blue-black color, that means the given food item contains starch. So, A blue-black color indicates that the food contains starch. That means carbohydrate is present in that food. I hope the test for carbohydrates is clear to you. We have to just simply add 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution. If the color will change to blue-black color, that means the given food item contains starch in it. Then we have studied the test for proteins. How we have performed the test for proteins. For the test of proteins, we have to take the small quantity of food item for testing in a clean test tube. Now we have to add 10 drops of water to it and then shake the test tube. To the given food item which we have added in the test tube, to that we have to add 10 drops of water. After that, using a dropper, add 2 drops of copper sulfate and 10 drops of caustic soda. What is caustic soda? NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So first we have to add the food item, then 10 drops of water. After that, with a dropper we have to add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution and 10 drops of caustic soda solution. So what will happen? You will observe the change in color. The color will change to violet color. If you will observe the violet color in the test tube, that means the protein is present in that food item. You can see the violet color indicates the test is positive for the proteins. Then at last we have studied the test for the fats. How we have performed the test? Take the small quantity of the food item, wrap it in a piece of paper and crush it. We have to take the small quantity of the food item, we have to wrap that in the paper and crush that paper. After that, straighten the paper and observe it carefully. You will observe the oily patch. Hold the paper against the light. What does this oily patch represent? Oily patch on the paper shows that the food item contains fat. You can see in the image how does it looks. So we have done the 3 tests for carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So how we will confirm? For carbohydrates, the color will change to blue-black color. For protein, it will change to violet color, and for fats, it will change to oily patch will be seen on the paper. For the detection of the carbohydrates, which chemical we have used? We have used dilute iodine solution. For protein, which solution we have used? Which chemical we have used? Copper sulfate and caustic soda solution. So, I hope all the 3 tests are clear to you. We have studied that our food contains different nutrients. But what do the various nutrients do for our body? What are the different roles that the nutrients play in our body? Why the nutrients are essential? So let's study the different roles of the nutrients in our body. First, the carbohydrates and fats provides energy to our body. Therefore, they are known as energy-giving food. As carbohydrates and fats provides energy to our body, they are known as energy-giving food. Carbohydrates consist of starch and sugar. We have studied the detection of starch in the carbohydrates. Now let's see the examples of starch. The carbohydrates that contains starch are bread, potatoes, rice, pulses. And the carbohydrates that contains sugar are honey, biscuits, milk, the normal table sugar, unsweetened fruit juices, etc. are some of the examples of the carbohydrates that contains sugar. Now foods high in fat. So what are the different foods that are high in fat? Fatty meats and fish, cheese, butter, avocado, nuts and seeds, chocolates, etc. are some of the examples that are high in fat. Next is proteins. What is the role of protein in our body? What does the proteins do? Proteins are needed for growth and repair of our body. They help in our growth and repair the different tissues, helps in healing of the wound. Therefore, they are known as bodybuilding food. Proteins are known as bodybuilding food. They help in the growth and development of our body. Hence, they are known as bodybuilding food. The different examples of the protein are chicken, fish, milk, yogurt, cheese, paneer, nuts, tofu, eggs, etc. are some of the examples that are rich in proteins. Next is vitamins. So, what vitamins do for our body? Vitamins along with minerals helps to protect our body against various diseases. Therefore, vitamins and minerals are known as protective food for our body. Vitamins help in keeping our bones, eyes, teeth and gums healthy. Let's see what are the role of the different vitamins in our body. Vitamin A is good for our skin and eyes. Vitamin C fight against many diseases. Vitamin D provides calcium for bones and teeth. The different minerals like iron, calcium, phosphorus, etc. are also important for our body. Now let's see the example of the different minerals. The examples of the iron are spinach, apricot, broccoli, almonds, onions, green peas, etc. The foods that are rich in phosphorus includes mushroom, fish, chicken, yogurt, green peas, pumpkin seeds, etc. Milk is the rich source of calcium. Cheese, nuts are also rich in calcium. Then we have studied about dietary fibers. What is the role of dietary fibers in our body? What does the dietary fibers do? Dietary fibers are also known as roughage and they are important for our body. Dietary fibers helps our body to get rid of the undigested food. The different sources of the dietary fibers are whole grains, pulses, fruits and vegetables. Then we have studied about water. Like the different nutrients that are required for our body, water is also very essential for our body. What does the water do? Water helps our body to stay hydrated. Water helps to absorb the different nutrients from the food. So the different nutrients that are present in the food, water helps to absorb those nutrients. It also helps in throwing out some waste from our body as urine and sweat. So some of the waste in the form of urine and sweat are thrown out from our body. Normally we get the water that our body needs from liquid we drink like water, milk and tea. Do you know any other source of water? We get water from some of the vegetables like cucumber, watermelon are the rich in water content. They contain lot amount of water in them. Then we have studied about balanced diet. What is balanced diet? The food we normally eat in a day is known as a diet. But For the maintenance and the growth of the good health, our diet should have all the nutrients that our body needs in the right quantities. So, for the growth and the development of our body needs all the nutrients that are required in the right quantities. Not too much of one, not too little of the other nutrient should be provided to our body. Our diet should be balanced with all the nutrients. Our diet should also contain the good amount of roughage and water. Do all the people need the same diet? What do you think? Do all the people need the same diet? No. The diet depends on the age of the person and the physical activity that he or she carries out. What happens if we consume only fats? We know that fats provide energy to our body. But do you think consuming only fat is good for our health? No. It could be harmful to eat too much of the fat-rich food, as fat-rich food can lead to the increase in weight, which in turn leads to the obesity. So it is very harmful to eat or to consume only fats. So our diet should be balanced with all the nutrients. Only eating a right kind of food is not enough. Our food should also be properly cooked, as cooking the food can increase the taste and it helps in the digestion of the food. It also kills the harmful microbes. So our food should always be properly cooked. Does cooking veggies destroy nutrients? Some nutrients get lost in the process of cooking and preparations. If vegetables are washed after cutting or peeling them, so the nutrients that are present in the vegetables or the fruits after they are peeled or cut, if we wash them, the nutrients will get lost. Cooking also results in loss of certain nutrients. So, overcooking can also lead to the loss of certain nutrients. Vitamin C gets destroyed by heating. So, on heating, vitamin C gets destroyed. Now we will study about deficiency diseases. What are deficiency diseases? Diseases that occur due to the lack of nutrients over a long period are called as deficiency diseases. Due to the lack of nutrients, some of the diseases that occur in our body. Such diseases are known as deficiency diseases. If a person does not get enough of protein for a long time, what will happen? If the protein is not supplied, we have studied that the protein is the body building food. So, if the protein is not supplied, the growth will be stunted. Swelling of the face will be seen. There will be the discoloration of hair. The different skin diseases can also take place if the proteins are not supplied to our body in the essential quantities. If the diet is deficient of both carbohydrates and proteins for a long time, the person's growth will stop completely and the person will appear lean and thin. Now what will happen if there is a deficiency of vitamins and minerals? Vitamin A deficiency will lead to the loss of vision or night blindness. What are the symptoms? There will be the poor vision, loss of vision in the darkness, or sometimes complete loss of vision. So, due to the deficiency of vitamin A, there might be the poor vision or the loss of vision in the darkness, that is night blindness, or sometimes there is a complete loss of vision. Vitamin B1. Deficiency disease that is caused by the vitamin B1 is beriberi. What are the symptoms of beriberi? Weak muscles and very little energy to do work. There will be no energy to do work and the muscles will be very weak. Deficiency of vitamin C will lead to the disease known as scurvy. The symptoms of the scurvy are bleeding gums and wounds will take the longer time to heal. Then deficiency of vitamin D will lead to the disease known as the rickets. Symptoms are bones become soft and bend. The bones will become soft and the bones will bend. The deficiency of calcium will lead to the bone and tooth decay. What are the symptoms? Weak bone and tooth decay. The bones will get weak. Deficiency of iodine will lead to goiter. Symptoms of goiter are glands in neck appear swollen. You will see the glands in the neck area will appear swollen. And mental disability is seen in children due to deficiency of iodine. Iron deficiency will lead to anemia. That is, there will be the less hemoglobin and symptoms are weakness. So, the deficiency diseases can be cured if we take the proper balanced diet, if the proper nutrients are supplied to our body. So, we complete our chapter here. I hope all the topics in this chapter are understood to you. Now let's see some of the questions. Name the following. First is the nutrients which mainly give energy to our body. Which nutrients can give energy to our body? Carbohydrates and fats. A vitamin required for maintaining good eyesight. So which vitamin will maintain our good eyesight? Vitamin A. Nutrients that are needed for growth and maintenance of our body. Which nutrient is needed for the growth and maintenance of our body? Protein. A mineral that is required for keeping our bones healthy. Which mineral keeps our bone healthy? Calcium. Name two food rich in protein. So, the food rich in protein are fish, eggs, and food rich in starch are potatoes, corns. You can write some more examples of the proteins and starch rich food. Name two sources of vitamin A. Which are the two sources of vitamin A? Carrots and fish. So, these type of questions can come in exam. I hope this chapter is understood to you. We will continue with the next chapter in our next session.